Hello everybody, this is Bill Owen from MNPCTech.com. How you doing? Today I'm looking at Corsair's new Carbide Series 400R mid-tower case. This is their first entry-level case on the market with a retail price of only $99. Now, just like the 600T sample I got last year, I was the first to get that. I got the first sample of the 400R, but I've been so busy that I haven't had time to get this review done, so I apologize to everybody, including Corsair, for not getting this review up earlier. Now, my first reaction after taking the plastic off is, wow, nice. The exterior looks good. One thing I've noticed about Corsair, especially when I saw the 600T, is that the paint finish on the plastic matches the finish on the steel, which a lot of companies have yet to master, will be a slight shade off. Now, the color I would describe as charcoal gray metallic. It's a nice color. It looks especially good with the black chassis. There's a close-up there. The top camel hump, I guess you could call it. It's reminiscent of like the Cooler Master Half Series. There's a handle built into that for your hands. All the perforations on the case are honeycomb, which is actually the best perforation design for optimal airflow is honeycomb. Just a side note. Also notice that the top panel is screwed on versus pop riveted. Now the side panel will take either two 120mm fans or two 140mm fans. You can just take the included fan grommets and swap them to the other holes. Taking a look at the back side of the case, power supply is on the bottom. There is 8 PCI slots, 4 inlet outlet water-cooled tubing grommets, a 120mm exhaust fan. And here's something different for Corsair. They've got the you can't lose the thumb screws option on the side panels. And what that means is that the hole there is actually threaded, so when you unscrew the thumb screw, it will hold the thumb screw and you won't lose it. Closer examination of that cubby hole there, which is actually a handle to carry the case with one hand, which reminds me a lot of the half series cases, although they don't have a handle in there like that. Here's our main power switch with the hard drive activity LED right below it. There's two 3.0 USB ports, headphone, microphone, firewire, and then a switch for the LEDs in the front 120mm cooling fans, and a discrete reset button right below. The front grille is perforated steel with a very small honeycomb pattern. The 400 comes out of the box with 3 120mm fans already pre-installed. Only the front 2 intake fans are white LED fans, while the rear exhaust has no LEDs in it. Front bezel comes off nice and easy, and it's ABS plastic construction, very durable. And there's look at the filter screens that are removable. But basically you just take off the front bezel and use your vacuum cleaner to suck all the dust off the backside. Cool air is drawn into the 400R via these two 120mm white LED fans, and these are mounted onto the hard drive cage without any vibration dampening grommets. They're rated at 1200 RPM, 43.2 CFM at 18 decibels apiece. I must have muscle cars on the brain because this side panel reminds me of a 1969 Dodge Roadrunner hood scoop. You may not see it, but that's what I see. And just in case you're wondering, yes, the side panels are interchangeable on the 400R. Corsair implemented a massive size opening in the 400R motherboard plate. It's 7 1/4 by 5 inches, so plenty of space to access retention plates and brackets. And of course, there's the wonderful Corsair cable management grommets, which they were the first to unveil in the market with the 800D. And the top panel, again, screwed on versus pop rivets. That's always a nice thing, especially if you're a modder and you want to get that panel off quickly without drilling out pop rivets. And looking around here, there's plenty of room for cables. Corsair's cable grommets always stay put. They don't push out easily, which I've always liked about them. I measured the gap between the back side of the motherboard plate and the right side panel, and it was 7/8 of an inch. And then when you account for the hood scoop style side panel, it's nearly 1.5 inches, so plenty of room to hide power supply cables back here. On the bottom of the 400R chassis is this convenient removable fan filter for both the power supply fan and the optional 120mm or 140mm intake fan in the floor of the 400, which isn't included. It's made from ABS plastic and has a very fine mesh screen. Of course, some people like to mount the power supply upside down so it's drawing warm air out from inside the case too. Again, there's an option for a 120 or 140mm intake fan in the floor. The 400R chassis will accommodate video cards up to 12.4 inches or 316mm. To keep costs down, the hard drive trays are plastic. They're a toolless design with rubber vibration dampening grommets. It's very easy to snap in a 3.5-inch drive, and solid state drives also fit in these trays. They mount on the floor, and all the necessary mounting hardware is included with the case. A nice touch was the option to add 2 additional 120mm cooling fans to the side of the hard drive cage. Continuing our tour on the inside, there's black anodized thumb screws for the 8 PCI slots. The rear exhaust fan is a non-LED fan. It's the same specs as the front 2 fans. The chassis is a black powder coat finish, very durable and resilient to scratches, and Corsair even included black motherboard standoffs. Corsair designed the 400 to fit 240 size radiators with 15mm mounting hole spacing, which of course is the same as Corsair's H100 CPU cooler kit. Now here I'm test fitting a Black Ice GT Stealth X-Flow radiator, which is about 1 inch thick and only 2.5mm thicker than the H100 radiator. I wouldn't recommend using any thicker size radiator in the 400 because you will run the risk of the 2 cooling fans blocking a portion of the motherboard, especially the memory slots. But if you have to, you can mount a radiator on top of the grill, which I think looks kind of crappy, or vice versa if the fan's outside of the case. Otherwise, you can also modify the mounting hole locations and shift the radiator toward the left side of the case. Now that's only if you're going to use a thicker size radiator. If Corsair had just made this raised portion of the grill taller, say 1/2 inch, it would give water coolers a larger range of radiator options. Every manufacturer has this compulsion to keep redesigning toolless latches. Well, these are not flimsy at all, and they work very well. Included with the 400R are instructions, a USB 3.0 to 2.0 adapter, and all of the included fasteners are black anodized, including the screws for mounting a power supply, hard drives and solid state drives, and the motherboard standoff screws, extra cable ties with 2 adhesive bases to help with cable management, and necessary screws for mounting the optional 2 120mm fans to the hard drive cage. Let's do a sound test with the stock fans connected to my hot-wired workbench power supply. My biggest rave for the 400 is the fit and finish. The overall quality is exceptionally good. It also comes with a great deal of fan options that you can grow into over time. Corsair's signature cable management features are all there, and there's the excellent bang for your buck $99 retail price. Have you noticed too that whenever Corsair comes up with a new model case, there's never a window option right away? Well, same thing here. Hey, room for thicker radiators in the top would be nice. And how about a rear LED fan as well? After finally seeing the case in person, it just underlines the fact that Corsair designed this case to give you maximum functionality for your money. And if you decide to purchase one, and once you put a system in, you understand why it looks the way it does. I would just like to thank you and all of my subscribers for watching this case review, and also thank you to Corsair for sending me the sample. And yes, before some of you even ask me, I will be modifying the 400R into something cool. You can follow other cool MMPC Tech case mod projects and products by joining our Facebook group. You can just go to mmpctech.com's main site and you'll see the Facebook link and just request to join the group. If I'm not there to answer a question related to PC or case modding, one of the admins should be there, and that includes Alexander Serovic, Toby Kirkby, Dave Scarborough, and of course Kyle Vandermew. We all look forward to getting to know you and seeing what kind of case mod projects you're doing or what you've done in the past. So thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you there.